That's good, that's just great. Sex is life. You thought I was so enlightened and focusing on high vibrations only, but in fact you had just blockage down there. So sex could be a great door into awakening process. This part of your is beginning to awaken and you feel the sexual energy happening.
Go.
Ooh, let's continue. I wonder how long has it been since I filmed my last video about sex. I definitely gained some experience since then, and I'm here to share with you. Hello everyone, my name is Anna, I am giving school instructor, and I have awakened... What year it was? It's been 3.5 years since then, actually, now. Since my last video was uploaded, there were many comments from you. I found that sex is quite intriguing topic for everyone, and especially as a spiritual journey, because there are many controversy around it. And I looked at some of your comments. So there were some questions about how can we mix it with the concept of chakras. Aren't we moving to higher chakras when we awakening? Isn't it supposed to be the other way, that our sexual energy is kind of lowering down and we begin to focus on something higher? What I can tell is that each of our nature and our individual nature is so unique and so different to all others. It's like there are no the same two flowers, there are no the same two leaves on earth. Same with people, we are all very different, and in the way that we transform, moving towards more revealing of this consciousness is very unique. And for some it would be like the first time you will plunge deep into present moment, closer to awakening state, you will experience that you have zero desire to have sex or anything, you just feel very high blissful states. For some with transformation, it could be that some of the lower energy centers were blocked for you for quite some time, and since awakening is awakening our whole organism, you will experience that this part of your is beginning to awaken and you feel the sexual energy happening. You can feel yourself being more sensuous, you can feel yourself being more sensitive, and it's totally fine. Don't match your experience with experience of others. Everything I'm gonna be sharing in this video, it's only my experience and what I've have seen around me, what resonates with my experience, with my understanding. So please don't take it as a just blunt truth and the way it's supposed to be in your case, but maybe this can give you some guidance on how it could be. What I wanted to say by that, to make a conclusion: if your sexual energy is kind of going to sleep as you move towards your awakening and further transformation, it's totally fine. That's the way your nature works for you. If you begin to feel all the life happening within there, that's good, that's just great. Sex is life. That's something that's giving us birth, it's totally fine. It could be like you thought I was so enlightened and focusing on high vibrations only, but in fact you had just blockage down there. So yeah, just trust your nature and keep on focusing on awakening. That's all you need. Even though it's very clear that there is nothing bad with sex, and if there was no sex we wouldn't be able to get born and be here and talk to you right now. Although there is still this concept of maybe somewhere in the back of our head, that sex is something very instinctive and bad and shouldn't be there. Let's have a look. What is the difference between animal and a human? Animal has instincts, biological processes, and biological life. Human has biological instincts and biological life. What's the difference? Human has a conscious desire to develop. And nowadays, the development we speak about is not anymore, just like in career or in one field of my skills, but it's development of our consciousness. We want to discover who we are, why we came to this earth. We want to awaken, basically, maybe subconsciously, but that's what we are coming for. And sex is one of the process that could be that tool. Here what we can see is evolution of humanity in the world by the request that people begin to have. Did you know that there is a new trendy, not trendy, but new illness in sexology, which is called erotic boredom? Erotic boredom, when people don't see the point of sex anymore, it's not interesting, it's not fascinating, there is no point to do it. And there are many people that call themselves asexual or, yeah, that sort of stuff, which is normal, but we need to look into the essence. What is the essence? This part of life is not interesting for me anymore. Why? Because it's too superficial. People cannot get satisfied with superficial actions anymore. They need depth in everything. If we talk about sex, no one is satisfied with just, this rubbing on top of each other, some orgasm maybe for one or maybe for two, just the feeling, and that's it. Although we already know that it's a very psychological process also, and there is a low chance that a female will experience orgasm. But anyway, I'm not a psychologist. What I want to say is that people are not satisfied with just mechanical actions anymore. And me, myself, I wasn't. I wanted to have the deeper connection, to go deeper into this process, to experience the depths of this process as much as possible. And when we don't know where to find it, we keep on doing it the way that we learned, we are not getting satisfied, we get disappointed, and we quit the sex game. On the opposite, you don't need to confuse the spiritual search and the promiscuous approach. Yeah, we don't need to, just go and have sex with every single person, meet as many people as possible on Tinder to find that perfect match in sex. It's also just an idea in our head that there is some perfect match. In fact, the perfect match happens when you go in depth with one person. Only then. It cannot happen from one time, because we ourselves in our head all have these barriers, cliches, and things that resist us from having the greatest time of our life. And with the partner, we can go into the depths out of those barriers. Only when there is complete trust, only when there is complete openness, and when there is a conscious desire to go into these depths. And especially when there is a conscious desire to go into the depths from both sides, that's when it's really becoming possible. That's why me, myself, I'm for one partner and stable, serious relationship. Yeah, that's the term they use. From energetic point of view, even, we either waste energy, we have the potential of energy, and we give it to this person, that person, that person, that person, and then stay with nothing. Or we invest energy in one person, we get energy back, this energy grows together, and we grow together. That's how it works. This diet today, another diet tomorrow. On the third day, we'll go fasting. On the fifth day, we'll eat fast food. We won't get great results. We'll just mess up our organism, basically. When we have this undirected, chaotic approach, we just mess up. When we commit, we get results. The same with sex. You probably heard, "Thou shalt not commit adultery." Religion says sex is bad. Or maybe we got it somewhere wrong. If we look into the origin, from the Latin, it actually means corrupt. So it's not about the outer form, but about what we put into it. When we put the corrupted feeling within, that's when we corrupt. That's when we commit adultery. If we actually translate it in Russian, it's more clear. It says "прелюбодеяние," which means something done without love. When we misplace the feeling that's supposed to be filled with love with fake beliefs, when we stay untrue to ourselves. And we basically corrupt each single way we live when we live in the mind by some concepts that be put on us by the society, by our parents, yes, by our parents also. And only when we awaken and feel ourselves who we are, what we really want, we begin to create from love. What I wanted to say with that is that sex is not a sin. Sex could be a path of revealing truth, of getting to know yourself, of awakening, of learning to feel the action with love. And unlike the common belief says, You cannot have sex with the police. Fuck the police on the streets from the underground. So here's the next question. How do we make love instead of just biological sex? Honesty, feedback, and feeling yourself. 3 keys to your awakening. Let's remember how often in your sexual experience you actually could directly, 100% honestly and openly communicate everything you wanted, you didn't like, you wanted to change with your partner. I can tell from my experience that I had to learn to do it. And this actually happened when the fears went away with awakening, where I could fully open and be myself. Don't try to match my expectations from the past experience onto this person, where I could create something good with this person from this moment and from my sensations, from what I feel right now, not from the ideas of how it's supposed to look or feel or be right. You probably heard, to get an orgasm, you need to switch off your mind. Switch off your mind. Try to switch off your liver or try to switch off your heart. Come on, that's not possible. What we need to learn to do is to distance from the thoughts and learn to return back to the process that is happening right now, to the life that is happening right now. And this is the main thing. Like, as soon as you fly away in thoughts in sex, remember? Okay, I remembered. Yeah, I'm somewhere in thoughts. Return to what you sense. Be in that search and discover. Be interesting for yourself. Or, how does it feel? Where you want it to be felt? How do you want to change it? How do you want to move? The pace, the depths, different type of touches, whatever it is. But you can only tell and give proper communication and feedback when you feel it. And this is exactly what we learn in our awareness practices, in our methodology. We learn to hear ourselves, not lose the contact with the presence, with our body. And this is what I use daily in my practice, not just for sex, just for happy life in general. So, guys, sex and spirituality, it's not like spray and pray. That doesn't work. It's more of a reap what you sow. What you're gonna fill the process with, that's what you're gonna get in return. So let's fill it with something true. You cannot draw your previous experience. You are not the same as yesterday. The person you're with is always new. And that's why, if you're going into depths of learning this life, the sex with your partner will never get boring, because there is always something new to learn. You are always like meeting in new different states. So awakening is about being here and now, and awakening is about giving, making the pleasure for the other person also, not just your own. Let me just orgasm and that's it. I don't care what you feel. No, that won't work. Quite often people have some sexual issues. They prefer not to speak about it, try to solve it somehow with some pills. Let's take Viagra and, just force my dick to, erect. And in fact, when we have low libido or impotency, or there are some, women that feel like, oh, I cannot experience orgasm, I must be some frigid or all that sort of stuff. And all those issues that I mentioned, they more related to psychological and mental blocks that we have. And those mental blocks actually physically located in our body also. And when we begin to practice, meditate, when we awaken, lots and lots of stresses are being released from our body. And our somatic health in general begins to get better. That's when we begin to feel very open, very energetic, and very curious towards sexual life in general, and there are less and less issues with that. Because basically, as you know, all illnesses come from our head. Same with sexual problems, the same psychological problems, just in this sphere of our life. when you begin to move towards awakening, the level of your energy grows. In general, you begin to feel more sexy, and also you begin to create that kind of field where the other partner feels comfortable to also be open, honest, and ready to go into this process with more passion. So sex could be a great door into awakening process. It could be an instrument of self-discovery, revealing the central potential we have, the energetical potential we have. The quantity turns into quality. With experience and after awakening, for me right now, sex is a very sacred process to which I internally prepare and I use as an instrument to go into the depths. And also, there are some periods when I save sexual energy and direct it directly on movement towards absolute or God or home. That's the processes we go into in our retreat center when we go into full stillness in a calmness mode. And I could see how it also works, that this energy could be transformed and applied for our deeper awakening without actual sexual process. You can definitely help yourself to awaken through conscious sex. That's 100% sure. But you cannot go into very deep awakening towards enlightenment just through sex. Why? Because we shouldn't make sex as our main point of life and the only focus. It's just one side of life. We need to learn to be in life in general. Sex itself can gain a new depth as a side effect of your development, of the development of your consciousness. In fact, in my case, it was like that. I began to follow this spiritual path, and my sexual life changed as a result. Also, deeper awakening is related to purification from very deep mental programs, ego programs. And egoism nowadays is so strong that it's not enough for us to just begin to let the energy through us freely from these mental blocks. We need to transmit this energy through ourselves so strong that we inspire others to pass this energy further. So we need to learn to share this energy with so many people that they spread this energy further and further, this awakening energy. That's the only path that we can really overcome our ego, the modern ego that is very strong, very big, and developing very fast in the modern condition. So just exactly like I right now share this video with you, I share the information, I share this aspiration to develop, aspiration to awaken, I share my experience, and I truly wish for every single person to discover who you truly are and why you came here, not from some concepts or idea that you've heard, but from your own personal experience of other perception of life, deeper view.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate your attention, your interest towards your development, towards openness and sexual manifestation. And I would like to also learn your experience. What resonated with you the most? What did you find the most interesting? I'm planning to record more videos, so please write your questions. I'll be happy to answer them.
Thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell icon to do not miss new cool videos, and please share it with those that would find it interesting. This will help so much to share this information about awareness, awakening, and help more people to find their true path or their inner spirit, their soul. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next videos.